What's going on, everyone? So the San Antonio Spurs are shutting down Dylan Harper for the rest of NBA Summer League. This isn't a huge surprise, right? I mean, you saw like Dallas shutting down Cooper Flag, like the key star guys. Just kind of put them out there, let them get a couple reps, kind of show the world like, hey, this is who we got. Shut them down so they don't get hurt or anything, especially the guys that are going to be playing huge roles for teams that are trying to do something this year, right? You don't want Dylan Harper to get hurt in Summer League, especially coming off of an injury, right? You want to play it safe. You want to play it smart. Obviously, this is a little disappointing because I would have loved to kind of see a little bit more from Dylan Harper rather than just like, the 2 games he played. Now, in those games, he did average 16 points, 4 rebounds, and 2 assists during that little, weekend kind of run. And, it was nice to see. The guy talked about this, right, in my breakdowns of Dylan Harper in those games. You see the elite just ability to get to the basket, create that dribble penetration, his ability to get his shot, right? He is going to be a stellar offensive player. Like, bare minimum, the guy's going to be a bucket. Not worried about that by any stretch of the imagination. But there were a couple things that I really wanted to see from him during the course of Summer League as Summer League progresses. More so, kind of him as a playmaker, right? The defensive side of things, he was a little rough, but it's fine. He's a rookie. I trust that he'll kind of work through that and figure that out. He's also, I'm sure the Spurs were like, hey, dude, don't go out there and hurt yourself, right? Like, just go out there, get some reps, get some cardio, right? Get a couple shots up, kind of do your thing, right? That's why it's hard to really evaluate somebody in Summer League because you don't know what the team has told him. He might want to go out there and just hoop, right? And just show like, hey, I can defend at a high level. I can make plays. I can score. I can do this, that, and the other. But for all we know, they told him like, hey, just go out there, do a couple things, do a couple highlights, whatever, and then just be that, right? Like, don't do anything that's going to hurt yourself or, overextend yourself or anything like that. So, again, it's hard to evaluate. But from what we saw, again, elite level, he's going to be an elite offensive player. The guy already has the NBA level and capability of getting to the basket, getting and creating a shot. But I wanted to see him more in that playmaker role, right? One of the big kind of question marks and concerns about Dylan Harper coming out of Rutgers was his lack of court vision, his lack of playmaking ability. If he's going to be that kind of combo guard, if he's going to be the guy that has the ball in his hands a majority of the time, right, he needs to be able to balance both. Right? You look at a guy like an SGA. Yes, the guy's going and getting you 30 a night, but he's also getting you, 6 assists. He's also making plays, keeping other guys involved, right? He's making sure that the defense is keeping on their toes. If they know you just want to score every possession, right? Like, it makes it easier to defend you a little better, right? Also, he's compared to guys like Cade Cunningham, James Harden, right? Well, those guys made plays and can make plays. I mean, obviously, both are still doing it. But like James Harden was putting up like 60-point triple doubles, right? Like if he can be anything close to James Harden, that would be transcend. Like, that'd be amazing, right? But again, James Harden was able to make plays. I'm not saying he won't. I'm not saying he's not going to be capable of it, right? He's a rookie. And we're going off of 2 games in Summer League. It's hard to really evaluate, but if we're going to do a fair kind of breakdown of him as a player, we got to talk about the pros and the cons, right? Just like when he's watching film and learning and growing and progressing, right? It can't all be all sunshine and rainbows. Everybody has to start somewhere. Right? Even Wemby had some duds, right? There's a couple games his rookie season where you're like, man, we wish we could have that back. Right? It's part of the growth. It's part of the process. It's part of just growing as a basketball player, adjusting to the NBA. The defensive side of things, I trust will come. I don't know if he'll ever be like an elite defensive player, but can he at least be serviceable, right? You look at a guy like an SGA, Cade Cunningham, right? Those guys are not like elite defensive, but they're good defensively to, at least serviceable defensively, right? Like, those 2 guys are a great example. James Harden was never really a good defender. He had games, he had moments, kind of had some stretches, but for the most part, he wasn't really a great defensive player. Like to see Dylan Harper adjust to that. But again, that'll come with time. That'll come with defensive positioning and understanding the type of play styles defensively that the Spurs end up running, how they kind of operate and do certain things, right? Like, all of that will be a process. All of that will come in due time. It's just, I wanted to see a little bit of that come Summer League. Same thing with the playmaking, right? I trust that he'll learn kind of the ropes. He'll learn to see the floor better. He'll learn how to make adjustments and plays on the fly, right? Yes, you want to be aggressive. You want to get downhill. You want to attack and get to the basket. Yes, you want to apply pressure on opposing defenses, but you also want to keep them guessing and on their toes, right? The way to be most effective is if they don't know what you're looking or planning to do. Yes, 9 out of 10 times you might be looking to score, but they don't know, is this that 10th time? Or is this that second time, right? Like, and you kind of keep them guessing and you take what the defense gives you. Defense starts collapsing, boom, easy outlet passes, cutter, boom, easy pick and roll, running pick and roll action, like opening up and creating for yourself, creating for others, right? I trust that he'll evolve into that type of player, but I would have liked to see a little, I was hoping we'd get a game where like the Spurs were just like, hey, we know you can score the basketball. Great, beautiful. You're doing fantastic. Can you go out there and just show us what playmaking Dylan Harper looks like? Can you show us what it would look like if you're running the offense? Because that's also something good that you'd like to know right now. Why? Because, again, you have De'Aaron Fox, who's going to be the primary guy. He's going to play probably 30 minutes a night or whatever. But, like, what happens when he's on the bench? Who's running the offense? Is, Stephon Castle? Is it Dylan Harper? Well, you'd like to know if he can, be that playmaker and get other guys involved, or if he's just going to be out there as playing essentially the 6-man role and just trying to score every possession, right? How is that going to look, right? That's why they went and brought in a Jordan McLaughlin. They brought in a Jordan McLaughlin because of that, just in case, right? Because you might need somebody like a Jordan McLaughlin to come in and run the offense, get Wemby involved, get guys like Dylan Harper, good looks and good shots. We'll see. I don't know how this is going to play out. I don't know what the Spurs' plans are, but it's a bummer, right, that we're not going to get to see Dylan Harper a little more, but it's fine. I get it. Like, it's not something where I'm like, what are the Spurs doing? Like, it's nothing like that. It's just, hey, go out there, have some fun, play some games, right? We got to get to see a good sample size, which, again, you can't take everything from it, but you kind of get an idea, you get a feel. Like, the guy is going to be elite offensively. It's just, again, everything else. Can everything else kind of trickle in for him, right? So, again, like, you can't, because when I did my breakdown, I got a lot of comments from people that were like, oh, you can't judge anything, into Summer League. It's Summer League. Okay, so then you can't judge the good things. So you can't praise somebody for something that they're great at, but not criticize them for things that they're struggling in. Right? And then go, okay, well, yeah, but none of it matters. Okay, so then if none of it matters, then maybe he's not elite offensively. Maybe he does need to work on his offense. Maybe there are struggles and issues. Right? Again, if you're going to be fair, you got to be fair. There's nothing wrong with saying like, hey, he needs to work on his playmaking. Hey, he needs to work on his defense. Why is it okay? Because he's a rookie. He's like a 19-year-old kid. Let him figure it out. It's fine. But there's nothing wrong with analyzing, giving proper breakdown of him as a player from what we've seen. The only thing I have to go off of is what we saw in college, what we've seen in 2 games in Summer League. And what we saw in the 2 games of Summer League are the exact same things we saw in college. So I'm not just going off of just 2 games in Summer League, going off of 2 games in Summer League plus the whatever it was, 36 he played in college, right? And it was the same thing, right? Excellent elite at applying rim pressure, creating that dribble penetration, being a bucket, right? But questions about his playmaking, questions about his defense, right? Those are all things that you still see. That's fine. He can improve, he can grow, he'll get better. But let me know your thoughts and opinions down in the comments. That being said, if you haven't liked this video, hit that like button. Helps me out. Enjoy these types of videos. Truly appreciate it. And that subscribe channel, hit that subscribe button. Turn on the bell notifications. Appreciate y'all. See you in the next one. Thank you.